Hey, it's Catherine, and I'm going to be accountable to you guys for my year-end goals. So in January, I shared with you what my goals were for 2021. I didn't realize they were such big goals. So I gave you an update in June, halfway through the year, letting you guys know where I was. So it is the end. We're over. 2021 is over. And I decided I was going to be accountable to you guys on what I accomplished. So come with me over to my goal poster. Okay, so let's look at this first row. Okay, first goal we can see here, that's me directing this thing. Director's reel. Did I get my director's reel done? Yes. Yes, we accomplished this goal. And I'll show you a clip of that. A love so deep I don't fear execution. I thirst for strength to stand against old Satan, to rise most high to you, not halt here hatin'. Next, write a memoir about my son's premature birth. I told you guys in June that probably wasn't going to happen, but instead I would work on the documentary and get that going. Did I get Timothy's documentary going since I didn't get his book going? That would be a big fat no. I did not accomplish that because my editors, I've had them very busy editing my online course called You Are Worthy. So they did not have time to start on the documentary. So I got one yes, one no. New Lexus SUV. That I needed a new car, right? So new Lexus SUV. You guys remember what happened in June? Let me show you. Okay, so I was settling. Because we didn't want to have a car payment. I didn't want to have a car payment. My husband's like, let's get you a good car. I'm like, I don't want a car payment. So we bought one straight out, and that car ended up being a complete lemon. Funny thing is, a couple of you guys on here warned me. They were like, don't get that car. So yeah, we got it, but it was not good. As a matter of fact, when we realized it started breaking down on me, I would be driving to work, driving to the studio, driving on the freeway, and the car would just shut off. It would just shut down. So that was not good. That really was not good. So we're about to get another car. So we're like, we have to get another car. And I was like, you know what? We could get a Toyota. We could get, Reliable. We could get a Honda. We could get whatever. But I said, you know what? I don't want a car payment. We can't really afford a car payment. So if we're going to have a car payment, why am I going to settle for a car that's not on my goal poster? So let me show you what I ended up getting. And the crazy thing is, the car broke down on the way to the dealership. That car was so bad. It was so bad that we had to leave it by the side of the road and have the dealership come pick us up. So we really couldn't even go home without a car because we didn't have one to drive. Okay, so let me show you what I ended up getting. Okay, you saw. I got my dream car. So that is a big, fat yes. Got it. All right. What's next? Did I self-publish my dad's book of stories? This is something I maybe told you I wanted to do for his birthday 4 years ago. And I didn't get to it. I didn't do it. So for 4 years, this has been hanging over my head. So you better believe I was very motivated to do it. So how do you think I did on it? Yeah. No. I did not get that done. Darn it. The course just took so much dang time, way longer than I thought it would be. I thought I was gonna launch it in January. Then I changed it to June. Then I was gonna launch in August, and I didn't end up launching the course until November. And it's the end of December, and I'm not even halfway through editing the course yet. So we're gonna move on to the next section of goals. All right. 2021 goals. Yes, the You Are Worthy course. It's not just enough to do a giant course of 9 hours of teaching content. No, I thought I could not only film, launch, and edit 9 hours of course. I was beating myself up, and I'm thinking about it. A Hollywood movie can take a year to do, and that's just an hour and a half. But somehow I thought, well, sure, I could get 9 or 10 hours of content done in a year, amongst being a mom, amongst going to film, amongst mommy duties, wife duties, whatever. So I'm going to say launch You Are Worthy course. That is a yes. I did it. We launched in November. Very exciting. I want to share with you where I came from and what I used to think about myself when I was too bogged down and heavy from ingesting and chewing on the wrong thoughts. And then the transformation and total makeover I had after I allowed the Word of God to renew my thoughts by showing me how God saw me. The weight of the discouraging self-talk, and my shoulders slumped over and my head hung low. I tried to make myself invisible, hoping he was going to forget I was there. I ambled up to the front of the class, and I didn't make eye contact with anyone. I just stood there, uncomfortable, petrified, self-loathing, and not even being able to look in the mirror without pain was my reality. In my mind, I was hideous. Why did I let my secret out? Now everybody knows that my smiling face is fake. It was a mask helping me cover up the truth. A mask I'd been wearing for years so I could tell anyone who asked me, I'm fine. Everything's great. Even though I felt like I was dying inside. But then I began to wonder, why would God, who created this magnificent sunset, think it was worthwhile to create me? And that's the question we'll answer in this course. I want to show you how to see yourself the way God sees you. I want to share a secret with you. The secret is, in God's eyes, you are more breathtaking than the sunset. I want what you learn in this to position you to show up for your life in a more powerful way. I want to be that coach for you, to help you run this marathon called life. I want to help you make it to your goals I don't want you to quit or to give in or to believe that you don't have the strength and the stamina it takes. I too want to help you go through the cupboards of your soul and throw out any junk in there that has been weighing you down, making you not perform at the level you are capable of performing at, so you can make room to feed on the nutritious soul food that God has for you. So you have the nutrients like one would need to build their immune system. You will be building your soul system. You're going to find out why God believed it was worthwhile to create you. But as if that goal wasn't big enough, I was like, well, not only will I launch this big epic course, I'm also going to turn it into a book and find a publisher and get a traditional publishing. Did I do that? Big fat no on both of those. I did not have time to turn that into a book. I'm still working on the course. I haven't even finished halfway through the edits of level 1, let alone level 2. So that was an ostentatious goal. All right, this tiny little thing you can't even see because we're so far away, but this little picture says NIV 1 year. So this is the New International Version of the Bible. I had a goal to read through the Bible in a year. Y'all, I was so far behind at one point. I was like 2 months behind in reading. I was like, I am never going to catch up. I'm never going to get through this Bible in a year. But a miracle happened. A couple times when I couldn't sleep and I stayed up hours reading. So yes, I read the entire Bible in 1 year. And that was my 8th time through. So that was pretty awesome. All right, next big goal for 2021 was to get out of debt. I had huge debt from the times where we didn't have enough money to pay our bills, and I just was putting things on credit cards because, you still have to have food and gas. And then we also made a zombie film, and when we didn't have enough money, we were charging the card to make our movie, Cannibal Corpse Killers. If you haven't seen it yet, you've got to go see it. I'm going to put up all the places you can find it. So get out of debt. We had probably like 30,000 in debt left still. It was like up at 70,000 at one point. It was pretty obnoxious. Yes and no. Yeah. Okay, so yes, we got out of debt, but I should have been like really more specific with my goal, and I should have wrote get out of debt permanently, because I was out of debt for 3 whole days. Completely out of debt for 3 whole days, and then Timmy had to have dental surgery. And he had to get put under, and we had to pay thousands for an anesthesiologist, and then that wasn't covered, and then so unfortunately, yes, we were out of debt for 3 days. So no, we are not out of debt now. Darn it. So that's that. Okay. Launch my online store. I had Live True, Love Hard, Shine Bright. That was my first item for sale in my store, was my merch that had my famous saying. Yes, have you guys checked out my Redbubble store? I have at least 6 or 8 or 10, probably more closer to 10 designs on there. Fun designs. Let me show you some of them. So you can check out my Redbubble link to go to that store. All right, the last section of goals for 2021. Okay, YouTube, new content, new series, and monetize. So I had 2 goals for YouTube. Monetization. I have been posting videos regularly for at least 3 years, maybe 4, and I finally, yes, got monetized. You saw that in my video 6 months ago. Yes, I did it. Sadly to say, I'm not making a living on YouTube. Maybe I get not quite enough for a tank of gas each month. So I really pay my editors much more than I actually make doing the YouTube videos. So I hope you guys appreciate it, because I go in the hole. I go in the hole every month making these videos for you. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, new content and new series. I made an announcement. I think it was in January, about this new series on YouTube I was so excited to do. I'm gonna show you a clip of it. I wanted to ask you guys a question to see if you would be interested in a new video series I'm thinking about doing. Hey everyone. So lately, the last few Fridays, maybe the last 3 or 4 Fridays in a row, I have been putting up on YouTube some old audition videos that I found in my archives, because you guys are always asking me, what do you do besides the Dhar Mann stuff? Were you acting before that? And I have been acting for over 20 years. And it's only the last 2.5 or 3 years that I've been doing the acting for Dhar Mann. So I was putting up these old audition videos, and a couple of them were comedies, and you guys were like, LOL on it, saying, I've only ever seen you be angry and cry. Because that's kind of what I do in those videos. So you haven't seen the funny side of me or the other types of roles I play outside of those inspirational, motivational videos for Dhar. So my question is, I'm thinking about doing a thing every Friday, like Flashback Friday auditions, where I show you guys all these old characters I've auditioned for, and I bring my acting coach in to kind of tell you guys, after you see it, what I could have done better, what I should have done, how I could have improved my acting or my audition, because I think a lot of you have said you want to get into acting, or you've always wanted to learn about it. You've asked me about different teachers and coaches and who I've studied with. So instead of, like I have been, just putting up the auditions, I thought, what if we take it to the next level? Take it to the next level and have my own private acting coach comment on all of the auditions to let you guys know, and to let me know, what I could have done better. To help actors learn how to be better at their auditions and show the difference between what kind of performances get you the job and what doesn't, and what works and what doesn't. But sadly to say, my dearly beloved acting coach, before we could start filming that series, died. So that is a sad face and a no. I did not get to do that new series. All right, so publish my next poetry book about depression and happiness. I put a poll out and you guys voted. Out of the 4 books I was thinking about writing next, you guys said the depression and happiness one would be the most one you wanted. Did I do that? No, because my dear, dear friend Darlene passed away. And comes to find out, she made me an executor to her will. So I have been up to my eyeballs in paperwork and court dates, and I just was working on it for hours today, many hours a week, several days a week. I am working on her probate case. Since she passed away, and her wishes were to start this nonprofit foundation and leave all her money to charity. So, I mean, when you're working with an estate, I had to figure out how to sell all her stuff. I had to figure out how to do the court stuff. We had to figure out how to do a foundation, 501c3 charity, figure out how to sell her properties. We're going through, she was kind of sick towards the end and didn't go through her mail. 28 massive, large boxes of paperwork So going through 20 and every single paper and calling on every single lead and I don't even want to get into how intense this is, but it's not even over. We have a court date in February coming up. I think we have a court date in April for probate court. So just family stuff and trying to just figure out what charities to go to. So last goal is I was going to record all 3 of my books that I wrote and turn them into audio books. And I started on this one. No, I didn't get to these 2, but I did start on this one, and I recorded the preface is already recorded. I started to record the other stuff, and then recently I just set up a home studio because my friend, musician and studio recorder, she moved away, so I can't record at her place anymore. So I set up my own place. I started to record this, but then I was having technical issues. I'll show you my little at-home booth I set up. Okay, I told you I'd show you my setup. They always say the best place to film is in your closet because the sound will be dampened by your clothes. So I had my little music stand here where I have my words on, and then I have a little, it's full of scarves and hats right now, but that's where my computer will sit, and it hooks up to, I have this little makeshift sound booth I made. Basically, you speak into this and the sound dampening stuff all around it. And of course, I got a banana box. You guys know how I love my produce. So this is where I'm going to record. This is a good high-end mic. I just got to figure out how to do the program and how to get it to pass the sound check so that it will be accepted on Amazon. But I've been having technical issues. And so though I started it, sadly, no, I didn't finish it. So those were my 2021 goals. And you guys may be saying, hey, wait a minute. What is this where something was torn off? You may remember in June, I put up a new different goal there. But it was so fresh and new, and I felt like I couldn't share it yet. And then I went away for a trip in October with my mom, and God was really speaking to me about my goals and what to do and all this stuff. And I felt the Lord telling me, no, you're not going to do that right now. You're not going to focus on that. 2022, I thought I was going to direct this film that was in this slot. And God said no. So he's got different plans for me, and you'll see what those plans are when you watch my 2022 goal video. Okay, I want to know how you guys did on your goals. If you stuck with me to this end, you are diehard fans. And you know I'm always motivating you to go for your dreams. But it's not enough to just say, go for your dreams, go for your dreams. You have to have the vision board. You have to see in front of you. This is in my office. You have to see every day the goals you're going for. You can't just have it in the back of your head like, oh, I'm going to write a book someday. No, what are you going to write on? What's the topic? How long is it going to be? What genre is it going to be? Break down the steps. What research do you need to do? You know, this is just the start. This is just giving you something to look at every day to give you hope. But then you need to sit down. You need to write the plan. What am I going to do each week towards this goal? Where am I going to research? Where am I going to write? How am I going to start? Who am I going to show it to when it's done? What insight am I going to get? Who's going to edit it? What publishers am I going to reach out to? There's a lot that goes into it. So tell me what your goals are for 2022. And I would love to hear them. And if I can support you or give you any ideas, I would love to do that. So be blessed and have an amazing new year. Hey there, it is Katherine Norland. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys think that this video would bless somebody else or that they need to hear it, please hit the share button. And there's a little bell button too where you can be notified whenever I have a video that comes out so you don't miss a thing. I appreciate you guys. Remember, always live true, love hard, shine bright, and I will see you in the next video.